You're about to hear a little bit of conversation between myself and Detective Frank of the LAPD Pacific Division. These recordings are from 20 years ago. If only my voice had been heard, or if I could have found a detective who would refrain from constantly interrupting me and allow me to get the whole story out, and most of all, had fully understood that this is not about me, but about real hard criminals who are getting away with murder. And then, of course, the victims. I can only pray this is the last time I'll ever say this. If the benefit of the doubt would have been given to the possibility of victims, I wouldn't be having to do this today, and there have definitely been some cases of obstruction of justice. I just can't let that happen anymore. Please listen to these recordings. These recordings are legitimate, and I'll be referring to 11101 Palms Boulevard in Los Angeles. I really do. I am contacting Washington on it.
Be careful with those calls to Washington because just because they're very, very irritable these days.
Well,
with the time we're in,
Yeah. I have to speak to somebody on the Department of Justice maybe as well.
Start with a counselor.
I know that there are victims there. Okay. Now all it would take.
Where's that?
It's on Sepulveda and Palms.
What do you think they're victims of?
Okay. They're victims. They're kidnapped. They're being tortured, and I do believe that I believe there's child pornography going on.
If you think this is true,
I know.
Go to the location, and we'll have a black and white police car.
I've done it. I've gone there. I've gone there. I've called 911.
Don't call 911.
And I've called dispatch, and I've had the police meet me there plenty of times.
Okay.
And they tell me to come here.
Okay. There's nothing we can do for you.
Okay. I don't want you to do anything for me. I want you to do something for the people that are
if
there.
you think there's a problem, you could return to the location.
Okay.
If the police have said there's no problem, then chances are there's not a problem.
But what I want to do is I want to make a report on it, and I haven't really gotten to do that yet.
Okay.
And what I really need is somebody to do something about this already. I mean, I just don't understand. This is what
about what I don't understand.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. Okay, this is
time and time again. If the police keep coming out,
mind if I just
that means there's not a problem. Do you understand that?
Yes.
What did I say?
You told me to go to the location. And
except the police have already gone out there, chances are there's not a problem.
Well, they haven't looked. They really haven't. They haven't looked.
How many times do you think they've been out there?
A few times, but I just wanted to mention this. What they need to do is bring some canines, some dogs, some sound gear.
Believe it or not, the officers are actually smarter than the dogs, okay? The officers are smarter than the dogs, and they know where to look.
Notice I started to hear.
So tell me what you think the problem is, all the way down.
Okay, what I know
is somebody following you? Is somebody filming you?
No.
Somebody hurting you? Are you okay?
It's real complicated.
No. It's not complicated.
No,
but there's only a couple of moments.
No, they are threatening.
Somebody's threatening.
Yes.
Okay.
I've moved out of the apartment. Quick interruption to mention that these days I always get names and badge numbers from every officer that I speak with. Lovekesh Kumar, who's a wanted murderer right now in Clovis, up northern California, who is on. He's wanted. He's got on America's Most Wanted. I've actually called them, spoke with detectives there.
Mm-hmm.
They about 2 weeks ago, they said they were here. They said they came and they left, and that it wasn't him.
Okay.
When I know for a fact that it is him.
All right.
Okay.
So what do you think we can do for you today?
And there's a couple of
What do you think we can do for you today?
Is there anybody
the fact that you feel very anxious? Is there anybody that you usually talk to, like a doctor or counselor or anything that you have?
No. But
feeling as bad as you do, obviously, you're pretty frustrated. Maybe that something like that might be helpful to you.
Well, the fact that they threaten is something that should be concern to you. And also, this guy
it's making, obviously you're alive and you're safe and you're good, which is very good news. And I think a lot of your frustration you could probably talk out because you're safe. I can tell that you're safe. You know, that's a good thing. That means nobody has really gotten you. So maybe talking to some friends or family, or talking to a doctor.
I do, but no, everybody, all my friends and family, they really just don't want to talk about it.
Okay,
they actually get very angered by it. It's really strange, but.
Is there a doctor or a clinic you think you could go to?
Well, I wouldn't mind actually going to somebody to, you know.
You know what? Obviously, you're very wound up, and.
By now, with what you've been listening to, if you have any judgment that you feel like passing or any opinions you'd like to express, remember, all it would take is 1 minute with me inside that apartment in order for me to change everything and settle this once and for all.
You know, to help you get through this, maybe talking to a counselor, talking to a doctor,
that's something I'd like to do.
Make you feel so much better.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
It's a tough predicament. And there's a lot of frustration and a lot of, anxiety you got going, and maybe that's going to be your answer for now. Mm-hmm. And then after, a lot of that's worked out inside you, that we can help you if you need further help.
Well, okay, isn't there something that I could type of report that I could make just so it's here, so there's a record of it that I made it.
The good thing is everything we're doing or saying is being recorded.
Okay.
So there's a total record right there.
Okay, that's fine.
There's cameras and sound in the station, and there's going to be no doubt if there's ever a problem that you and I have spoke, and that what you've told me that I've heard, and it's been digitally recorded. And so that's, the technology of the future, right? It's on record. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Does that help you at least that this is recorded and you've been heard?
Yes, it does. I just wish that it could get resolved. Because I have a few names I'd like to write down, a few people that I know that are involved in it. I'd like to show some data.
And you know what? You got to at least try to relax a little bit, knowing that the police have been out there and they're professionals, and
I need to actually make a report. I don't know any by name, but I do know that there are quite a few, and of different ages and different. Okay, so I was only able to capture a few seconds of the next recording that you're going to hear, and by this time I had already been moved out of the apartment building, and I'm still trying to get some attention on victims.
How can I help you today?
And it's the same Detective Frank. What are the chances? Well, it's a really long story.
Well, just give me the shortest one possible, so I can know where to steer you.
Okay. I was living in an apartment complex on Sepulveda and Palms a couple of years ago, and the first thing I discovered was this, which I'm showing him a photo right here. Which I'll get into detail when you have the time to explain. But it was it's a inner closet, a huge walk-in closet where there's a box that has like a plywood front on it. It just started to make me think about it. You can tell that it was that it's not drywall, that it's not consistent with the way it was built. You could see the caulking on the outside. I was wondering why this would be like this. It just had an eerie feel to it. Mm-hmm. Well, I started to. And then the battery went dead in my recorder. So that's it. That's all I have from those days. I'm just so grateful that I was able to recover those files. I got lucky. Haven't listened to those in 15 years, and it's good to have them back at this time, considering how active things are. And to anybody who is listening to this recording at this time, please remember that This is not about me. It is about victims. And how still, to this day, nobody has yet proven me wrong in order to actually have an opinion on me or the reports that I'm making, when it would only take 1 minute to prove me wrong, although I'm not wrong. Consider this probable cause.